Hello and welcome back to the Shallow Proclamation with myself, Thomas, and my friend Nigel.
Nigel Farage. I'm Paul, not Nigel.
Oh yeah, that's who you are. We're watching the finale of the Ambassadors of Death. We've actually enjoyed this, haven't we?
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I've only seen it once before, so I don't remember a lot about it. And people have been quite sort of negative about it.
Yeah,
Like they often say it's the weakest of the season, but I guess maybe it's just a strong season.
it's a fun one. It's a slow burn. I think the Ambassadors of Death are nicely creepy. They're kind of blue.
It's my moral duty.
Oh.
So yeah, how are they going to get out of this? Bring on...
I think people are saying like the issue that this season has, if it does have anything, is that kind of a lot of the stories, like these 7-parters, could have been one episode shorter or something like that, maybe. But I don't feel it drags particularly.
Yeah.
I thought it was for the best.
It's interesting, isn't it, that the villains in this are not really the aliens in some ways. You know, the aliens have pretty much just been in the background for literally for most of the story.
Look at them hovering there. I do like this score.
At any time.
Told me that their intentions were peaceful. That these three beings here were ambassadors.
It's sort of otherworldly, isn't it?
That was just to put us on our guard.
You're convinced their intentions are hostile, then?
Why else should they invade the galaxy? They were on Mars before we were.
Ah. So that's when you met them? When you were on a previous Mars probe?
Yes.
Yes, I'll build your machine for you.
Splendid. This man can be of use to us. Give him everything he needs. Okay. I'm going to take one of those.
That was a bit of a turn, wasn't it? Going from
Yeah.
I must kill you to give him everything he needs.
Open the door.
Quite the turnaround. See what you mean about the score. It works really well, actually, doesn't it?
It's quite repetitive, but it does the job nicely.
Sort of swirling and pulsing in some way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the splotches of bright colour.
Yeah. That was nice.
That is pretty cool how powerful they are. They can just touch stuff and...
No, that just reminds me of Austin Powers. You've not seen Austin Powers, though, have you?
Yeah, I've seen clips
Got a
from
little-
it. I can imagine.
There's a little cart like that in the base, and he gets it jammed in a corridor. Like he's trying to do a U-turn. Like...
Nice.
Did I mention they've got a stunt team that they use in the Pertwee era called Havoc?
Oh yes, I think you did.
So I think they're
Second
Yeah.
episode maybe.
I think they're getting into this a bit now. You know, throwing people around and doing more stunts.
Yeah, it's quite impressive, some of the moves, aren't they?
So this newsreader, it's not really a spoiler, but in the a bit later in the Doctor Who classic seasons, we're going to see him again as Davros.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you really think you should go ahead with this broadcast? What do you mean?
So right now he's Davros pre-accident, is that right?
Yeah, this is what RTD would have it like, I think.
Blasted out of the sky?
Well, RCD would say, oh no, this is what Davros is now.
Yeah.
I'm getting onto the ministry.
Charlie.
All communications control.
Oh, that's nice. Do you know something I've noticed, Paul? In any like TV or film, or anything, if you try to shoot it at a car while it's driving away, it won't do anything. It never does anything, does it? Well, actually, not quite true. There was a film recently where it did do something. I won't say because it might be a spoiler, but yeah, generally it doesn't do anything.
It's funny, so it's army
It's fair enough.
firing range.
The unit theme.
The music, the unit theme evokes the slightly bumbling nature of them, doesn't it? Like, look at that car.
It's just such a mishmash of visual and music, isn't it?
Yeah.
If my kids were watching this, they would have been saying like "yellow card, no returns."
Oh yeah. Is that where you punch someone
Yeah.
if you see a yellow car? Yeah.
This story has had quite a lot of gunfights, hasn't it? And
It
action and
has.
stuff.
Quite violent, Paul. What are you making us watch?
Oh, come on. He's not even undercover, that guy. He's literally out in the open. No music for this scene, just to highlight the brutality of this. This is a bit like watching the Bourne Ultimatum, isn't it?
Yeah. I kind of like, so in modern action stuff, all the sound effects are really turned up, like you feel every punch and gunshot. I know this is probably more realistic in a way. It doesn't actually make that much sound when you punch someone, so I'm told.
No.
Although it does feel a bit weird watching it, doesn't it, when it's so quiet?
Yeah,
It almost doesn't feel right.
feels a bit awkward, like you're intruding on something.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Here's that swirly theme again for the ambassadors. I quite like that. I mean, is this the ambassadors' theme?
I suppose it could be, yeah. It's kind of stayed with me, actually. I've liked a lot of the music from season 7 so far, but this story, I don't know, yeah, it just really fits, doesn't it?
There's some nice shots, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, it does fit, doesn't it?
The mystery.
There's an eeriness to it.
And there is something very creepy about the way they just keep walking straight, even when they're being shot at.
This is a great location.
It is, isn't
It's
it?
probably just a tunnel, isn't it? Like, it's probably just like a normal tunnel somewhere.
Yeah. Charlie?
Oh, yeah. Oh no, Charlie.
Yeah, he wants to show the world the face, doesn't he?
This is John Wakefield speaking to you live from the heart of Britain's Space Control Headquarters. This telecast is being received in homes all over the world by communications satellite relay. Owing to widespread rumors concerning an unidentified flying object hovering above this planet, General Carrington, head of space security, himself an ex-astronaut and Mars probe veteran, is about to speak to you on a matter of tremendous importance.
Security patrol!
Noble General, I've released my men. This place is in my hands.
I must make this broadcast. It's a matter of world survival.
I'm sorry, General. I must place you under arrest.
That guy just steps forward and touches him. That is a nice shot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just really well framed.
Nice trip.
Oh, there's a bit of CSO in the background there for the ceiling.
Wow.
Well,
So they were good guys, kind of.
yeah, the baddie. Well, there's a similar theme, isn't there, in who's the real villain, which we had in the Silurians, didn't we? Is it
Yes.
Silurians or is it the humans?
Yeah.
And you kind of get that here, don't you? There's the assumption that the aliens from somewhere else must be the villains of some sort, but actually we get General Carrington is sort of the big player behind things, isn't he? So that's quite a nice little idea.
Well, Paul, you've got to realise that sometimes, fam, you fear what you do not understand.
Well, quite.
Friends become enemies. Enemies become friends.
Become friends. I've actually quite enjoyed that story. I think I've been a little bit taken by surprise by it because, as I think I said before, I'm pretty sure I've only seen that through once all the way. I never owned it on video or DVD or anything like that. I think probably because there were so many issues. I think someone said like when you bought the VHS copy, it actually went from color to black and white at different points in it. So there were, there were so many issues with color and stuff. So it wasn't one I was hugely familiar with, but lots of people, do think of it as the weaker story of the season and can be a bit disparaging about it. Say it's too long, it's a bit boring. So I think I came into it thinking, oh, this isn't going to be a great one, which probably then helped because I had low expectations because I've really enjoyed it. I think it is a slow burn and it's not, but there was lots of stuff in those first few episodes, particularly lots of action.
Yeah.
The first two stories had that kind of helicopter and the guys coming down with the silver sort of masks on and, the bodies being hidden in the quarry under the pile of stuff and the Doctor commandeering the probe or the Recovery 7, when it was he pretended he was broken down, didn't he, or was whatever. There's lots of good bits in the story. I felt that they've just made it quite an enjoyable one all round, really.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think it's I think it is a slower burn, but for me it was stronger for that in a sense. I think it, as you say, it maintained the intrigue of who these guys were, and they remain pretty mysterious because you do see them briefly without the masks, but not much. So I think it plays its monster quite well. It doesn't. It's almost like Jaws, not showing too much. And when we see their world, we see very little, and it's kind of hazy. They're talking to that guy with the gloves on through the screen. You're like, what the heck is going on? But it felt alien, didn't it?
It did, and also not only is it unusual in that, like you say, they don't show you much of the alien. Normally, when you have things like that where they hold off on showing you something, once you see it, they then sort of go to town with it. But we only really saw it very briefly, and then they never went really back to it. So
it was kind of a plot point at the end there, wasn't it? That wanted to expose them, but we didn't actually see that come to pass.
Yeah. So I think overall it's been a really positive, quite a positive story. And I mean, if I had to pick things from that last episode in particular, I mean, I did quite enjoy the fight scene with the Brigadier and stuff. There was a slightly comical aspect to it, but also I think you highlighting the music in that one, it probably stood out to me more than it had in the previous episodes. And actually, it having that particularly that theme for the ambassadors is very striking. It's quite an interesting audio, kind of cue. Yeah,
is it weird to say that I feel like I'd quite enjoy going to sleep to that music?
I can understand that.
Do you know what I mean? Just because it's kind of soothing. It's eerie, but it's also quite soothing.
As long as when the track finishes, it doesn't immediately go on to the unit theme.
That is kind of. I almost feel like that's deliberately a bit campy, isn't it? Because it's like.
It's such a weird thing, isn't it? You think I need to write a piece of music for a military team, that fight aliens, a secret task force. This is the thing to go for, There must be like I may imagine it's on Spotify somewhere. There must be like a classic Doctor Who sort of album of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a shout. Actually, I might go and have a look at how much classic Who music is on Spotify because you
might find interesting things.
I wonder if any of the songs are on Spotify. Like, I'm going to spend my Christmas with a Dalek. It's my homepage.
Who knows? Yes, that's my alarm in the morning.
Most listened to track. Great. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and join our Discord community, link below, where people are sharing lots of interesting tidbits and extras about these episodes.
And we may be viewing one of those tidbits momentarily.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.